Let's take a look at this future schedule chart. This is from Pro Football Focus. X-axis, defensive strength of opponents. Y-axis, so up and down, offensive strength of opponents. So you look at it, that quadrant where the Browns are right on, that's the easiest schedule coming out. Colts have it easier, but you look over and the Bengals and the Steelers and even the Ravens have significantly tougher schedules than the Browns. And again, the next four even are eminently winnable. You've got you got the Cardinals, then you got the Ravens, you have the Steelers, and you have the Broncos in Denver. And again, you find a way to get. You should get three of those. You find a way to get three of those, you're in pretty good shape.
Yeah. If they win this one, they're going to finish this 4-game stretch 3-1. And that's got to look at it in quarters. You kind of got to segment everything out. And if you look at that strength of schedule, the only other team in that quadrant that should be competing for a playoff spot, maybe the Chargers. Other than that, you're the only team in that quadrant that should be competing. You got to take advantage of those. You got to take advantage of the weaker opponents and don't apologize for your schedule. But going into the year, you might think a game looks tough, but it's the way it's shaping out. Your division games are your toughest games left. Everything else you should be winning this year. And
the AFC North has beaten up each other and done very well outside of the division.
Yeah, I look at the game at Baltimore. That's a tough one. I think that's your toughest remaining game. But these division games are rough. Even if you should win, we all know sometimes you don't. So it's about taking care of business. But you'd be hard pressed to convince me that Vegas isn't going to have you favored in 3 of these next 4 games.
Well, as it stands, there's and we did this yesterday. The gap between 7 and 8, it's the Browns, and this is the betting line, if you will. Browns are the 7th best team in the AFC, 7th best odds to make the playoffs. 8th is the Steelers, and there's a significant drop-off. So right now, everybody feels like they are a playoff team. Now it's up to the Browns to go out and close it out and get some distance between them and the rest of the AFC.
Yeah, and they got that pecking order without quarterback play. They got that just treading water at the quarterback position. They figured the quarterback position out. Then all of a sudden, that road becomes much wider. You have a much bigger runway to get to the postseason. So, tread water until you have to. I think you can get by this week with Arizona doing that, but they need Watson to come back and get to form before they get to these divisional games, and they really have to start hitting their stride, as we get towards Thanksgiving.